Hello my friends and welcome back to my channel. I'm Elisabetta, your watercolor friend from Italy with a passion and curiosity for art supplies. Today I'm swatching this brand coming from Belgium called Isaro, maybe because it's Belgian, yes. And I bought it on Jackson's during a sale of all the artisanal brands. And this is niche brand made by a little manufacturer based in Belgium. I have another brand from Belgium which is Blocks, and it's a very good brand. But today I'm swatching this Isaro. I'm not sure, crafted in Belgium. I have bought 18 tubes during the sales. Not all of them were available. Some colors were out of stock, so my choice was somehow limited. But I have poured them in pans this morning because in watercolor it's a bit like in human relationships, out of sight, out of mind. I find that if I don't pour in pens my tubes, I never use them. So I have poured them in pans and I'm swatching them for the first time today with you. These tubes are 7 milliliters, is honey based with honey, au miel d'acacia, and I really like paint made with honey because usually it stays slightly sticky when it dries, so it's very easy to re-wet. Very pleasant painting experience. And let's start swatching. In this small collection, I have some colors missing, but I have some empty pans in my little tin, so I can add them in future if I like it, like purples. I don't have any purples. I don't have grays, so I can add. Of course, being a promotion, some colors were out of stock. So let's start from yellow. The first one is Nickel Yellow PY 54. PY 54, it's a light, slightly opaque yellow, and it can be lovely, for instance, in sky. And my first impression is that this paint is absolutely adorable to use. Very lovely painting experience, as I thought it would have been because of the honey content. Very saturated, slightly opaque of course, but that's the nature of PY 53 nickel titanate yellow. Very, very lovely. The second color is PY 154, which is Benzi Midazzolone yellow. Very light, fast, like this one. And I'm really impressed. Very, very nice painting experience. Very saturated color, very vibrant. So easy to use. I really love when paint spreads on paper so well. Great dispersion on paper. Cadmium Yellow Deep, PY 35. No binder separation, absolutely. It's in perfect conditions. Wow, this is beautiful, this deep cadmium yellow. It's a color that I like very much. Dark cadmium yellow. Slightly opaque, but it can be very, very nice. Cadmium Orange Pure 20. Many people don't use the cadmium colors for health concerns, and I understand it. I personally think that as long as you don't eat it, should be okay, because cadmium colors are so beautiful, so intense. I think that it's a plus in a palette having some cadmium colors. What do you think, by the way? Do you use them or you don't? There are some replacements for cadmium colors, but these are so beautiful. Wow, they are vibrant. Scarlet red, pyrrole scarlet. It's usually very lovely color. This is a color that I have learned to love through time. And it's a red that is vibrant, so it's difficult to use it as it is, but it's a lovely mixing red. It's very light, fast. Wow, this is so saturated. Look at how beautiful it's coming along, this palette. PR 264. And this is Spiral Rubine. This is beautiful. It's a dark, very light, fast, very transparent red. Look at, wow, this is so beautiful. Great replacement for alizarin crimson. It's a cool red. Pyrrole colors, very interesting. And it washes down to a very lovely pink. I love colors that have a wide value range from dark mustard to soft light tones. I have this pigment PR264 only in a version by Schminke called Ruby Red Deep, and it's very beautiful. I really like this. It's not so usual as a pigment. So far, only single pigments. Now, my beloved earth tones. And the first one is Rose Sienna. Rose Sienna is a very lovely color. It's earthy yellows, more transparent than yellow ochre. And this is PBR7, natural iron oxide. And this is a dark Rose Sienna, very nice. You can use it as a primary yellow when it is more yellowish. This is more brownish, very nice. But I prefer more yellowish Rose Siennas, maybe using sky and so on. But this is a very lovely ochre, let's say. Very nice Rose Sienna. Because yellow ochres was not available, so I bought the Rose Sienna. But I think that sometimes you can really replace yellow ochres with Rose Sienna, and Rose Sienna can be sometimes made with PY42 or PY43. In this case, it's made with PBR7, so it's darker, and it can't be a replacement for yellow ochres, so you would need a yellow ochres as well. In any case, PBR7 and PR101, red iron oxide, are among my favorite pigments. And, you know, here I have many. Oxide orange. You know that PR101 can be treated in different ways. It's a very versatile pigment. And it can become Indian red or English red or Venetian red. It can be transparent or opaque. And in this case, it says it's transparent, so it should be transparent. It's a beautiful orange. This could be an interesting alternative to quinacridone burnt orange, knowing that quinacridone burnt orange is out of production. Very interesting earthy orange. Beautiful, beautiful. Very interesting, very unique actually. I have never seen an oxide orange made with PR 101. One more PR 101, and it is Mouse Brown Light. Okay. This is a dull medium brown. Doesn't have this burnt undertone that burnt sienna or burnt amber have. It's almost like a goethite, I don't know what you call it in English. It's very interesting for landscapes, this I think, for winter landscapes, autumn landscapes. There is this drop that says if it is transparent or opaque, so apparently this is opaque, and light fast, 8 out of 8. One more PR 101, it's my third one. It's Venetian red, opaque, but of course you can really dilute it to a more transparent behavior. And this is very beautiful. It's slightly cool. It's almost an Indian red. It has a reddish cool undertone, especially when washed down. Very interesting. It's not too warm like other English reds are, or other Venetian reds. It's slightly cool. It looks very much like my Indian red by Rembrandt. Very interesting. Even in sky for clouds, this is going to be great. Burnt amber. Same pigment as raw sienna, PBR 7, natural iron oxide. Very dark, this burnt amber. You can feel the honey really while painting, especially in some colors like this burnt amber, and it's a wonderful burnt amber that is very dark in mass tone, and then there is a glow when you wash it down. Really, really nice. Slight granulation. The last in this raw, I bought it by accident. I didn't realize it was a pearlescent color. Is PY42 yellow ochre plus, so yellow iron oxide, plus pearlescent pigment, perlescent. And I think it should be very nice actually. So I didn't buy it on purpose, but I'm happy I have it now. And should be a shiny yellow ochre. First of all, the color is wonderful. I think we need to wait until it dries to see the pearlescence, but it's very discreet, the pearlescence, and very saturated. Wow, such a beautiful yellow ochre. I'm really curious to see this dry. This is, oh yeah, I can see some pearlescence now. It's goldy. It's beautiful. I think I can use it very, very well. This is going to be lovely in details. For instance, light in windows, or details in roofs, or details on trees like small fruits. This is going to be adorable, this pearlescent yellow ochre stardust. Poussière d'étoile. I have a soft spot for everything which is French or Francophone, because I speak French and I find it such a beautiful language. I'm quite fluent in French. Third row, cool colors. This is the first multi-pigment color that we swatch. And it's a beautiful, beautiful indigo. It reminds me a little of indigo by Sennelier. You know that indigo really very, very variables according to brands. And this is ultramarine blue, PB29, PBR7, natural iron oxide, and phthalo blue, PB15. It is very unusual for indigo not to have black. All the indigo I have black. But in this indigo by Isaro, the dark is given by the contrast between blue and brown, which makes it a very clean indigo. Indigo is very important for mixing darks. I don't have any dark here, but if you burnt it with burnt umber, if you mix it with burnt umber, for instance, it gives you a very nice dark, or for night skies, of course, or for the horizon in sea. This beautiful pigmented, not too dark in mass tone, but beautiful tone. My beloved Prussian blue PB27. One of my last videos was a comparison of different Prussian blue, and I got a lot of comments about Sennelier being close to the authentic platonic idea we have of Russian blue. Let's see this one, and I think that belongs to that school of thought of a cooler Prussian blue. It looks very much, I think, like the Sennelier version, which is very, very nice. Prussian blue, you know that Prussia is a German region. Must understand why it is called Prussian blue, but I think it has to do with the uniforms of Prussian soldiers. You know that Germany was like Italy, divided into smaller states, and Prussia was one of those. I will let you know. Ultramarine blue, ultramarine blue. You know that paint with honey has binder issues more often than paint without honey, but it's a risk that I can take because honey adds so much pleasure to painting. The gesture of painting, the dispersion on paper is so wonderful. And we should see a granulation when it dries in ultramarine blue. It's not the most granulating paint I have seen so far, this Isaro. Let's wait until it dries, but ultramarine blue should be the first really granulating color that we meet. The earth should be slightly granulating. Now, cerulean blue. Look how lovely these small tubes are. I think that there is also an added value in the beauty of the packaging of this type of paint, because it's so personal, it's so human. I really like the human touch that you get in this. There are some tubes that I like better than others. I love Sennelier, for instance. So vintage. Cerulean should be granulating as well. This is made with PB35. Cerulean can be made with PB36 as well, but I think that the PB35 is by far the most beautiful version. And I see a certain granulation coming through. Should be granulating, and it's a wonderful cerulean. Oh wow, imagine a sky with this. Great cerulean. I'm so happy so far. I'm really impressed by this paint. Phthalo green. You know that this is PG36, so it's the yellow shade. You can also have a phthalo green blue shade, which is PG7. This is really nice. I don't usually use this type of phthalo. I use the PG7 more often. This is more yellowish. And I use a lot the blue shade PG7 as a mixing green, or I mix it with alizarin crimson to create some cool darks. And I have to play with this green. Of course, it's not a green that you can use on its own, so artificial. It's not a green that you would find in nature, but for instance, it's an emerald green, very lovely in sea. Now that I consider it, I think that in sea, in water, this is going to be wonderful for green reflections, much better than the PG7. And then the second multi-pigment that we meet, and it's olive green. Olive green, I have different brands olive green because it's a green that I like very much. It's a convenience green. It's usually muted. This is very light, slightly opaque, possible. Yes, it is semi-opaque because it has cadmium in it. PY35, it's made with PG7 phthalo green, PY35, which adds some opacity, PV19 quinacridone violet, and PR122, which is quinacridone magenta. So 2 quinacridone colors, a phthalo green, very interesting formula, plus cadmium, that gives this muted, beautiful olive green. Very light version of olive green, very olivey, if I could say. So we let this dry and then I come back for my considerations. In the meantime, maybe you can start writing your comments. Do you know this brand? Have you ever heard of it before? Have you ever tried? What do you think of these swatches? I'll be back soon, but also in the meantime, I would like to talk to you about the pouring in pens, my experience. It's not always easy to pour in pens. This was super easy. Paint came out very, very easily. I hardly had to use a toothpick, maybe in 3 or 4 of these pans. It was very, very easy, and I can't wait to use my small tin with my Isaro paint. I think I will add more colors for a complete palette. I need some purples, I need a yellow ochre, I maybe need a cobalt blue, I need magenta, I need Payne's grey, maybe a black, but it's very nice. I think I can already paint with this palette, very nice. I put it on my window to dry. And now a little demonstration sketch. So this is the sketch I couldn't resist doing, and it was really a lot of fun. These Isaro paint are so transparent. I was really, wow, here, a shadow. It was really fun. It was really, really fun to paint with this transparent, warm, great paint. And voila, my colors are dry. Maybe there is a little shiny spot here. But you know that honey-based paint can dry with a slight sheen, like this oxide orange has a slight sheen. So now that it is dry, I see that in some colors there are some kind of hard edges. So the dispersion is easier on some paint and slightly more difficult in other colors. But you know, it depends on paper, it depends on the quantity of pigments. So there is also some variability in my application of paint, but it's extremely saturated. Colors have a strong personality, like this oxide orange or this raw sienna, even the burnt umber, the Venetian red, they have a very strong personality. The cerulean blue is beautiful and saturated, and I really like when a brand shows some personality. They're all very light fast, and so they only use a light fast colors. They're mostly single pigments, so that you can easily mix them without fear of getting a muddy result. And this pearlescent is not very pearlescent. Let me just, maybe you can see it. It's a very subtle pearlescence, which is ideal for me. I'm not very much a pearlescent person. The indigo is not very dark, so it's different indigo once again. I think I will compare my indigos across brands. The Prussian blue is quite cool, so it's more on the coolest side of my Prussian blues. The ultramarine is quite light. It looks like an ultramarine light. It's not an ultramarine deep. Not a strong granulation, not a strong granulation. So if you're not very much into granulating colors, I think this paint is for you. Personally, I like a granulation, but I think it is slightly overrated. So it's a bit of a hype in this moment about granulation, and there is not just granulation in a paint, there is also saturation and vibrancy and composition, and this paint performs very well on all these aspects. So you can have a look at this paint on Jackson's. I will put the link in the description box. Let me know what you think and maybe suggest what colors I could purchase next time there is a sale, because I pride myself to only buy colors unless I don't really need them, only when there are sales. And that's it. Thanks a lot for having watched this with me. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm really looking forward to reading your comments, and I'm quite happy with this paint. Very interesting, a lot of personality. So that was Isaro from Belgium. Bye bye.